Hey there, here are the disclaimers. Please enjoy. Also, I'm serious, this game goes hot. I actually got really mad at it. The story is a fiction. The feelings expressed in it are not. Remember, there is a human being behind the words you read. Okay. Okay, got the flowers. There's no need to be nervous. As I walked up to the fourth floor of my local hospital's East Ward, I was greeted by the sight of a mostly empty hallway. The weight of the flowers in my hands did little to alleviate the knot of nervousness tightening in my stomach. My sweetheart recently fell ill with a rare disease. I've been coming to visit every day since the day of the hospitalization. Hospitals are not fun places. I'm still not used to walking around here. It feels as if I'm invading someone's home. Excuse me, who are you? Are you visiting someone? A nurse, exiting one of the rooms, raised an eyebrow as she spotted me nervously walking around. I took a deep breath, attempting to steady my nerves. Sorry, my name is... my name is Lion. It's not Ember. Yep, they, them. My sweetheart looks like this. There. Okay, you know what? Cucumber. I'm kidding. Let's just leave it at you and they, them. Oh, Lion, you staying at room 402, right over here. With a nod, she gestured towards the room, granting me permission to enter. It's empty. Entering the room, the stark contrast between the dull tones of the hallway and vibrant hues within made my smile bloom. The early morning filtered through the curtains, casting a glow upon the surroundings. Thank you for coming to see me again, Lion. You greeted me warmly, a smile dancing on their lips as they waved from the comfort of their bed. I carefully arranged the small bouquet of hydrangeas, their favorite flower, into the vase beside their bed. Of course. How are you feeling, you? You forced a weak smile. The features were looking less pale than the last time I came to visit. The room, adorned with flowers and gifts, exuded a warmth that seemed to be working wonders for their recovery. And if the empty food tray on their lap tells the truth, then Yu has recovered their appetite as well. I can't stand being in here for a second longer. Yu lamented with a hint of sadness, casting a disdainful glance at the thin sheets covering their body. Every day, it's the same thing. Tests and more tests. Experts that come to examine me like I'm some kind of exhibit at a zoo. Bless you? As Yu spoke, a sudden fit of coughing seized them, and petals of flowers scattered in the air. The coughing's not gone? It's okay. Don't worry. Yu reassured me, wiping away the flower petals that clung to their face. Once again, they summoned a weak smile. I know it'll go away soon. Yu has not been able to leave the hospital at all ever since the symptoms first began. With you by my side, Lion. It was only yesterday that the hospital staff were able to confirm a diagnosis. I feel I can do anything. I must stay by their side, no matter what. Through every exam and medication or procedure, until they can leave the hospital and go back to a normal life. After all, Lion, you love me, don't you? Of course I do! I love you too. It's my fault that they're sick, because I was foolish enough to doubt them. And now, they're here, being poked and prodded, suffering through unimaginable pain. It's my fault. I'm sorry, Hugh. I'm sorry. Please, don't be sad. But, even though I'm an idiot, Hugh accepts me and comforts me. Hugh is the only one who cannot leave their bed, yet here I am, holding back the tears, threatening to spill down my cheeks. Shh. There. It'll be alright. Hugh held my hand close to their chest and patted it softly as they whispered reassurances. This is a charm my mom would do to me and my siblings when we're anxious. The fabric of their thin gown clung to their frame, fragile and delicate, as if it might dissolve with the lightest touch. In the midst of this vulnerability, you maintained a gentle expression. It will be okay. It will be okay. It'll be okay. An endlessly kind and understanding person like them still gazes at me with such affection. They stroked my hand half a dozen times and then pressed their lips against my palm. There you go. All your anxieties are fading away. I took it all out. You feel lighter now, don't you? As soon as they said that, I found myself letting out a breath I did not know I had been holding. The air feels clearer. Unless you're infecting me too. See? The charm never fails. Just being with them is a blessing. The sun's setting. I have to leave, or the nurses will kick me out again. Lion? I want to stay, but I should let them rest. I lean in. Lion? I can't leave without a goodbye kiss. Can I kiss you? He blushed red like a strawberry, looking everywhere but at me. What if it's contagious? You brought their hands up to their face, covering their cheeks and shaking their head back and forth. I don't care. You should! It's always been easy to make you blush. They're cute in a way that makes me want to protect them. The desire to take their hands away from their face and share a kiss intensified. Okay, that's alright. If I'm too pushy, you will run away, like a deer, a very adorable one. We've been taking things slowly. It's still new, this relationship. See ya, Lion. Yeah, bye. I approached the door, its hinges creaking softly as it swung open. Turning back one last time, my gaze lingered on you, who offered a smile. They waved. Bye. I'll be okay. The medicine is helping tons. Let me know what you learn in class and teach it to me when you come back. Okay? A nod of agreement passed between us, and I mouthed an apology. Bye. I guess it's the college cafeteria. Hey, did you hear about the patient at room 402 over the east wing? That's the one with the rare illness? That's it. Everyone at the attendings lounge is talking about it. Excuse me. I bumped past the noisy staff blocking my way to the hospital's cafeteria. If there's one thing that I've learned these days, I've been going to and from the facility, is that there is no end to the gossip. A lot of what I overhear is from this very place. While waiting for their turn in line, doctors and nurses alike seem to be unable to keep to themselves. Doctor-patient confidentiality is dead in this building. You think it's the person who's been visit? I quickly plopped down a lackluster meal of mashed potatoes and an old hamburger onto my plate. Hospital food is completely tasteless. Those bleak, white walls manage to drain every bit of flavor from the ingredients in each meal. Not like I've had much of an appetite lately. To my shame, I didn't believe Yu's claim of the diagnosis at first. The very concept of such a bizarre illness existing outside the world of fiction sounded bizarre and even unscientific. Until I heard it from the several doctors looking after them with my own ears. I've heard you over and over again. The fact swims and swirls around my brain, over and over, in an endless loop that weighs down on my shoulders and sends a searing pain through my chest. It's all my fault. I'm the one who did this to them. Hey, you're not eating that? A voice interrupted my self-reflection, pulling me back to the present. I looked up rapidly at the source of the voice that had called out to me. For a single moment, I thought I was seeing things. I guess, my friend's name is Yua. Yeah, Yua. But What I had thought at that half second between where my brain and my eyes managed to connect. Of course it was impossible. Ryan, when was the last time you had a proper meal? It was not you that stood before me, but their sibling, still wearing their school uniform. I don't understand why they're here. I'm fine, Yua. You're driving yourself sick. Please, at least try to eat a little. No, I'm not sick. You is sick. You is the one who needs help. You think you would want you to starve yourself? I remained silent. Yua sat in front of me, pointing sternly at the messy goop that was the cafeteria's attempt at a portion of mashed potatoes. Yua has always been like this, ever since I first met them and you. But now, their usual behavior infuriated me. Why haven't you visited you? The hamburger is pretty good once you get to the tomatoes. Try it. They ignored my question. The person at the reception desk told me that I'm the only one who came to see her today. Her? Who? Right. It's a part-time job excuse is not going to work this time. I know very well that today is one of Yua's free days. What are you doing here? Showing concern for me, yet not at all for their sibling. If it were my family, I would not be leaving Yu's side for even a second. There's also their father, who hasn't been here either. Makes no sense. Lion, how much have you researched about the illness? They asked, finally meeting my eyes. Why do you ask? Do you care at all? We were close, Ewan and I. It was thanks to them that I was able to confess my feelings to you, and with their support, we began to go out. But now, looking at them, I feel that our relationship has become one lower than strangers. The days where I considered them my closest friend feel like another lifetime. The anger that simmered within me traveled from my chest to my fingers. Lion. What? Unable to control myself, I banged both my hands on the table. Yua recoiled. The impact sent some of my food spilling out onto my food! I grimaced. It was not my intention to create a scene. I'm not speaking to you until you apologize to you! My voice shook. My hands clenched into a fist, longed to grab and shake Yua's shoulders until they realized the gravity of the situation. It was a need so guttural, so raw, I held myself back. Why would I want to cause violence? No. The situation has affected me in ways I never thought possible. I can't let my emotions get the best of me. I'm not the kind of person to push or pull others around. I have to go home. I got up and turned around. Lion, wait! You have to hear me out! Hugh needs you too. Go see them. Let's make a deal then, Yua said, crossing their arms. I raised an eyebrow at them. I'll see you if you go to class tomorrow. You're kidding. No, the teachers and our classmates are worried about you. You've skipped 3 days straight. You don't have to stay for class. Just go see them and explain what's going on with you. I couldn't believe my ears. You're only going to see your very sick family member if I go to school? Do you hear yourself? They're family. When we met, they got along just fine. I'm leaving. Lion, Yua called out, but it was evident that the deal was not happening. They shook their head, looking down at the remains of my meal on the table. Yua's gaze never left my back as I walked away. I ignored it. The building's exit was right nearby, and I made my way towards it. Somehow, my feet, heavy with guilt and regret, brought me to the hospital's exit. I understood now what's really important to me. You. If I had realized this before, it wouldn't have gone so ill. Everything else, the trivial concerns that had preoccupied my mind, paled in comparison. It all comes second to their happiness. Oh, we're back here again. The following day arrived. A sense of urgency propelled me into Yu's room as soon as the hospital's regulation permitted. Hi there, came to see them again? Upon my arrival, the same nurse from the previous day greeted me with a warm smile. Yeah, the nurse helpfully opened the door for me. Come visit, won't visit. Come visit, won't visit. Today, Yu wasn't finishing a meal like last time. Instead, I spotted them plucking the petals off one of the many flowers they had been gifted. Hey, you really like your fortune-telling charms, huh? I ventured into the room, breaking the cadence of Yu's ritual. Lion, don't spook me like that! Unbeknownst to them, I had already taken the liberty of arranging a new bouquet of hydrangeas in a vase. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt you. You carefully set down the flower, shaking their head. I can't help it. It's the only thing that calms me down. Fortune-telling has always been Yu's chosen way of calming their nerves. They like it a lot. He told me that they weren't always correct, though. Yeah, the day we started going out, my flower fortune-telling had told me it wasn't going to work out. Even if the result is bad, I'll feel calmer because I know what to prepare for. It's not the results I care about, it's more the relief it gives me. The sincerity in their words resonated with me, prompting a soft chuckle. You were prepared for me to not like you back? Yeah, that very morning, I wrote down a script of how I would react so I wouldn't start crying right away. Cute. I was so annoyed. They had to convince me to leave the script at home and be myself. The mention of Yua's name made my smile falter. They didn't want to say it out loud, but Yu noticed the change immediately. They leaned in closer. Are you still fighting with Yua? I didn't want to bring this up. Yu is going through enough already. I shouldn't rub in how the family doesn't care enough to visit. I guess. I shrugged. Bonk. A gentle impact on my head jolted me, courtesy of Yu, wielding the remains of the flower they had been plucking. Hey! I protested, rubbing the spot where the floral assault had landed. You can't fight. We're your best friends. They haven't been visiting you. I'm upset. Aren't you? Bonk bonk. No bonking me! I laughed at their clumsy attempt to call me out, but Yu wasn't finding it very funny. You need to make up with Yua. It's not right that you're still not talking. But, please? Please, Lion? Please? I'll talk to them. Fine, for you. When Yu makes a request with those big puppy dog eyes, I can't say no. We don't know what's going on in their head, and knowing my sibling, they're worried about things they shouldn't be thinking about. When I get out of here, I want things to be just like they were before, including the three of us hanging out and laughing together like family. We were close. I consider them my best friend. That's the truth. Yesterday I was so angry. That fact didn't move me at all, but now I understand. I should apologize. I was not nice to them at the cafeteria. Yua and their father must have their own circumstances. I'm glad you agree. It's thanks to you that I can see that now. They're my angel. I can't believe I ever thought otherwise. Do you love me, Lion? Of course. Of course I do. I love you too. So much. This ritual we do, of confirming the love we hold for each other. I believe it is helping Yu's symptoms, steadily getting better with each visit. I can see from their complexion, the color is returning to their cheeks, day by day. That is why I have to keep going. Even if I miss out on some sleep or homework or class, it's not as important. Little by little, I'll build back the trust I took away from you. After the heartfelt conversation with you, I bid my goodbyes for the moment. And I bump into you again, no doubt. Hi? My guy? Why? He shouldn't be coughing so much. I mean, I love him. Like, he shouldn't be sick. Hey, you not eating that? This time, I didn't bother to head to the cafeteria. Instead, I found myself following a particularly rowdy group of patients up the emergency stairs to the rooftop. I had no idea this place was accessible at all, or that patients were allowed here. Also decorated with plants and seating furniture, the tall barriers all over the edges of the rooftop spoke a story I chose not to ponder on. The patients heading there were, of course, looking for a place to smoke. I see nothing but smokers up here, patients in hospital gowns, and what I assume are their visiting families. Still, I already prefer this place to the cafeteria. No gossiping staff. I can handle the stench. Among the smokers, I spotted Yua smokes? Yu's twin, caught red-handed with a lighter in their hands. I approached them with a questioning glance. Really? With your uniform on? I knew they smoked. It was a badly kept secret. Their response came with a nonchalant shrug. We're graduating at the end of the year. It's fine. But smoking in public with our uniform on is just asking for trouble. I need to say something. You, by the way, convinced me to make up with you. Yua's eyes widened in surprise, and a flicker of sadness appeared on their face. You did? It wasn't something you thought of yourself? Their reaction was not what I expected. Do you not want to make up with me? No, I don't want to fight with you. I'd like everything to go back to normal. That's what you wants too. Something went on between them and they're not speaking, but they're twins. Yua scoffed, diverting their gaze away from me and fixating it upon the sky. Despite siblings' severe health issues, Yua maintained an outward calmness, devoid of any overt anger or profound distress. I've never seen them raise their voice or cry. They're the complete opposite to the sensitive Yu in that way. Yu, who has trouble studying and tearfully asks for help before tests. They're too cute for anyone to get mad at, though. I could send you my notes from class. You've missed a lot. Thanks. I'm serious, Lion. You're not going to do well on our finals if we don't get it together. You shouldn't let go of everything else in your life to take care of you. Yua cautioned, a furrow forming on their forehead. I'll be fine if you teach me. Yua has some of the best grades in our entire year. It's rare to not see them with a textbook in hand. A hopeful grin tugged at my lips. A couple study sessions with you and I'll be all good. For the first time since Yu's hospitalization, Yua smiled. I can't do miracles, bud. Even if I ask real nicely? You can't pull that on me. I grew up with Yu's expert begging techniques. Real nicely? I mean, what if I start flirting with you instead? A small grin played on their face. Shut up. They rolled their eyes, smirking. I'm going to come back stronger than ever, with your grades rubbing off on me. I like to think my genius is contagious. Yua replied, pretending to examine their nails with mock arrogance. A usual back and forth. For that moment, where we both laughed out loud, it was as if the awkwardness from our previous encounter had dissolved into the air. The only thing missing from this is you quietly giggling along next to their sibling. I really hope that we'll have the chance to hang out like this, all three of us, for a long time to come. Lion, answer me something honestly. Yeah? Yua turned to me. Are you sure that you still like you that way? The question caught me off guard. I hesitated, my mind racing to articulate a response. What do you mean? What do you mean if I'm sure? Of course I am. You and I love each other. Yua dropped their cigarette to the floor, extinguishing it underfoot. You didn't sound like you agreed with that before the hospitalization. The implication hung in the air, prompting me to shake my head in disagreement. I cast my gaze downward, as if the remnants of the discarded cigarette were the most fascinating thing in the world. Lion, I understand you feel bad. Like me, you've read up about this illness and its rumored cause. I've been watching you starve yourself, skip classes, ignore our friends, all to take care of you. Tell me, have you two talked about the breakup since that time? A hushed silence fell over me. Lion, Yua uttered my name with a gentle yet firm tone. I haven't, I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. You should talk to you about it. Get your feelings about that sorted out. Don't let it linger for too long. Your well-being matters too. I don't think that's a good idea. You will get upset again, and it might worsen their symptoms. Conflicting emotions tugged at me. On one hand, the concern for Yu's well-being was paramount. On the other, the undeniable truth was that Yua cared deeply for Yu and wanted the best for them. It's worth a try. I'll try, I responded tentatively. Frankly, I wish I had never attempted to break up with you at all. It was a mistake. If it were up to me, I'd rather pretend it never happened. But Yua has a point. Leaving things unsaid is not good for either of us. You will? I don't want to look back on that day. Yeah, I'll try. Okay? I will. Every time I think of it, I feel ashamed, upset, guilty. Alright, I'll trust you. It's my fault Yu is sick. I want to try to make it better. Maybe Yua's advice is what we need. Yu and I spent a quiet time together until we went our separate ways. The fluorescent-lit corridor stretched out endlessly as I made my way towards Yu's room. The usual hustle and bustle of the hospital hushed to a mere whisper, leaving only the rhythmic beat of my own heart in my ears. As I arrived at the door marked with Yu's room number, I hesitated, my hand hovering over the handle. I'm nervous. On my way there, I had mentally rehearsed the words that needed to be spoken. I'm afraid of what could happen if I said them out loud, yet I know I have to. With a deep breath, I entered the room. Hey there, buckaroony! Hey, sweetie! As I pushed open the door, a warm smile greeted me. Lion, you're back! A knot of worry tightened in my stomach. One of my concerns lingered in the back of my mind, the fear that by delving into the past, I might inadvertently stir up resentment or anger in you. The weight of responsibility pressed upon me. Their dad hasn't been coming by, and neither has Yua. If not for me, you could get lonely. Did your friends from the club home come... Did your friends from the club come by while I was away? Just by looking around this room, my fears are sated. Yeah, the music teacher came too. You just missed them. The get well soon balloons, the presents, and the letters I helped put up on the walls, they're all proof that Yu has people by their side. I've been so consumed by guilt, I wasn't able to see that. Yu is very loved by many people. How's the club going without you? We don't have any performances coming up until the end of the year, so they told me I don't have to worry and should focus on getting better. Yu reassured me, their eyes glancing over a stack of letters that had accumulated during their absence. Among them, one particular letter caught my attention, adorned with a whimsical hand-drawn piano. It's sweet. From what Yu had told me, the orchestra club is tight-knit. Seeming to be thinking the same as me, Yu smiled warmly. At the contest we went to last year, I was shocked at how competitive the other schools' club were. The club members bickered and argued with each other a lot. Our club is totally different. Everyone's really nice and chill. Their visits and gifts are proof of that. You and I chatted and laughed for a long time. Seeing them so chipper and healthy looking, my remaining fears about the conversation we needed to have disappeared quickly. I have to do this. I wanted to talk to you about something. Yeah? What is it, Lion? I exhaled a nervous breath. I don't know what Yu's reaction to what I'm about to say will be, but you can tell me anything, Lion. We have to talk about it. We can't pretend it never happened. I've been thinking that we should talk about what happened that day. I looked into Yu's eyes, hoping to find a hint of understanding. What day? When we were alone, back at our classroom. When we talked about breaking up. The atmosphere in the room shifted. A moment of silence lingered. And then... Huh! Okay. Yeah, this is fine. You? The sudden onslaught of coughs echoed through the room, each one more intense than the last. Ah! As each cough racked Yu's frail form, dozens of delicate flower petals fluttered from their lips. Yu heaved and beat on their chest, struggling for breath. I feel cold. Their shoulders shook as they held onto the thin bedsheets on the bed. Quickly, the color left their face, pale, shaking, exactly the way Yu was that day at the classroom. Why is this happening? I thought you were getting better! Frantically, I moved to reach for the call button. My guy? You know why. You're making me like this. You grabbed my shoulder, forcefully pulling me back to the bed. Staring straight into my eyes, they heaved. People die of this sickness! Last year, about a dozen, dropped dead, stuck to tubes and machines in an empty hospital room. Close to them like this, the flower petals stuck to their mouth and chin were as clear as day. Purple hydrangeas, exactly like the ones I gave to them earlier today. And the previous day. And the previous. Because the ones they loved abandoned them. Because the ones they loved didn't care enough to love them back. That's not true. I care about you. I care about you more than... Because the ones they loved had evil, harmful thoughts like that in mind. Breaking up. Why would you break up with me now? Do you want me to? I didn't say anything about... That's not what I meant! You sobbed. You did! You did! You did! You said you want to break up again! I thought back to what I had said moments ago. No, that's not what I... All I did was ask them how they felt about what happened. You don't love me! Hugh's tears broke my heart. I should have never brought up the subject at all. He's freaking This is way too reminiscent of something I've been through. I love you. I love you. Please, don't cry. I wouldn't call out the fact that they misunderstood me, but their tears at the thought that I don't love her back. Them back? Why is it that the, pronouns that keep shifting like this? Made me... Liar! 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 You said you wanted to leave me! No, you. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you doesn't believe our love is mutual, will their condition get worse? Will they end up like those other people who had this disease? Will they? Nobody loves me. I'm all alone. Lion. Hua hates me. My dad has a even cult. And my friends are liars. Liars! They gave me all these presents and letters. Yu's tear-streaked face turned towards me. They're lying! They don't like me! Even before I got here, they said it! They said it! They don't understand me at all! Not like you do! You're the only one who gets me, Lion! The sounds of Yu's anguish filled the room, a heartbreaking wail that cut through the air. Ah! I sat by Yu's side, my hand resting on their shoulder. No matter how much I tried to offer words of comfort, they would not stop crying. It reached a point where I found myself about to cry as well. I don't know what to do. I am out of here. What's going on here? Nurse! Nurse, help! The door behind us creaked open and someone came in. You, sweetie, calm down. The nurse ran to Yu's side. I don't know what. They won't. You've done enough. Please, leave. She gazed at me, stood. I did Jack Deadly, nurse! I don't want to leave you like this, but I don't. Lion hates me! Well, screw off then, you! Despite the growing number of hospital staff rushing in to assist, the distress escalated. More nurses and doctors entered the room. The nurse's stern gaze lingered on me, directive to step back and allow the professionals to take charge. Please sedate this dude! Reluctantly, I retreated. You know, there have been many moments where I wished violence onto various other yandere characters. This is the one time I'm like, nurse, freaking sedate the hell out of this guy. This is way too familiar to me. Yua's advice was terrible. What do you mean? What do you mean? It was good advice. Like, they did not take it. They did not take it well, okay? That's not your deal. You wanted to have a proper civil conversation. They would not want to have any of it. What I was doing was perfect. Yu was getting better. We're better off looking after and listening to each other without anyone getting in between. I was wrong. I'm the only one you had. He's got plenty of other people. Alright? Don't let this piece of poo freaking guilt trip you to thinking you're all they have. Don't you dare. But then again, like, yeah, this is understandable. Getting emotionally manipulated like this. Like, yeah, you tend to feel like that. You tend to feel this way. We had always been classmates. Our friend groups were different. We didn't have any interests in common. For a long time, Yua and Yu were familiar names I heard mostly during the morning roll call. Where is it? In a rainy day in early April, we met. I had forgotten the keychain one of my friends had given me as a souvenir from one of their trips. It was a silly, somewhat messy-looking duck keychain, made of cheap material. The colors were already fading off after a few days of use. Cute. I did a double take as I approached my desk. Paralyzed to the spot, I wondered how to approach the person who was now holding my lost keychain. I knew Yua as the smart, cool, and quiet person who was infamous for making our classmates cry. I should have dated Yua instead! Not because they were mean, but because they had rejected numerous confession attempts. I suppose there was something attractive about their mysterious character. I couldn't see it. I'd never seen a yellow one with a purple beak before. So cute. Colorful. Yua continued to inspect the duck keychain in their hands and smiling gently. It was a surreal sight. This was the same person who was infamous for being a cool, collected heartbreak. I should have dated Yua! Yua is so much better! Giggling over a duck. I mustered the courage to speak up, breaking the silence that hung between us. Hey, Yua, that's, mine. I must have dropped it. Thanks for finding it? Yua looked up, the expression shifting from amusement to shock. Since when have you been here? Since the, giggling? She's so embarrassed. I mean, they're so embarrassed. Frick! Yua puts their hand on their face and made a bizarre noise. Sorry? When they took their hands out, I could see a flush of pink on their cheeks. The ducks. I just appreciate the diversity in the animal kingdom. That's all. Ducks happen to be a part of it. I couldn't help but find Yua's discomfort endearing. I'd stumbled upon a secret they never intended to share. You know, it's just one of those things. Ducks have their charms. Do you have, like, a favorite duck? What ducks? Yua, we have to get going. Whoa! That's when you appeared. Another duck keychain? Don't you have, like, 2 dozen at home? You shut up. Dozens? That's quite the collection you've got going. Shut up. You made a duck friend, Yua? Stop it. You've said too much. Did you talk about how our bathtub is full of plastic dirt? I'll kill you. As they delved deeper into the banter, it became clear that Yua was indeed a closet duck enthusiast, despite their attempts to downplay it. Back then, Yu was much more shy and would stutter and blush over every single thing. The confidence Yu has today is new, something they seem to have built slowly as the seasons passed each year. Yu was just my new friend's sibling. Our relationship was nothing special. But when Yu finally turned to me, their first words were puzzling. Beef stroganoff! Beef stroganoff? Beef? Okay, are you beef stroganoff? Excuse me? Don't mind them. That's just a thing Yu does for luck. The room seems to brighten as our eyes finally lock, and their lips parted to utter another enigmatic phrase. Honey, Syrup Pack, could you stop acting like a JJK character? Please stop! Q blurted out another seemingly random phrase, and Yua sighed. I get you, Yua, I get you. The guy is a bit of a freak. And to unsuccessfully disguise their embarrassment, Yua poked Yu's cheek, rolling their eyes. Saying the name of food Yu likes when talking to new people was something they did a lot, even to cashiers and teachers. Watching the twins bicker, I felt like I could get along with them. Oi, what are you laughing at? Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yua was also protective of Yu. Those first couple conversations we had felt like they were testing me. Don't laugh at me! Yu stammered, their cheeks flushing with embarrassment. Sorry, I just thought it's just, you're cute. Huh? Breathe, Yu. Breathe. According to Yua, Yu fell for me that day. I just called him cute. That's all I did. That's what it takes for me to, like, nab one of these dudes? Maybe I should stop calling people cute. You're not cute. You're absolutely adoralicious. I mean, I was trying to go for adorable and delicious, and that's the first thing that came up. But yeah, I think you're adorablicious. God, what is wrong with me? Didn't mean to tease you. It's okay. I don't know what they saw in me during that interaction, but I can't say I wasn't interested in the siblings. From that day on, Yua and I began to talk a lot, mostly about their beloved ducks. I'm getting along better with Yua than with you! Yu's just a freaking weirdo! Why didn't I date Yua? Soon, Yu started to join our little circle too. To think it all started with a cheap knockoff keychain. Oh, we're back in the hospital. After getting kicked out of the room, I wandered around until I found myself at the hospital's cafeteria. Let me guess, I feel awful? My appetite was non-existent, I knew it. A heavy weight of guilt settled in my stomach, making even the thought of food unappealing. I walked to the food counter, but didn't pick up a tray. Everything looked bland and unappetizing. What are you getting today? Turning, I saw Yua approaching with a tray in hand. They looked me up and down, frowning. You okay? I nodded, but my attempt at reassurance fell flat. Just not hungry, I guess. Dejected and lacking any will or energy to stay in line, I sat down by the usual table. Yua followed after me, their footsteps echoing softly against the floor. They settled into the seat in front of me, an empty tray still in their hands. Their advice was not helpful. I couldn't hide my annoyance. What? Doing what Yua suggested before was the biggest mistake I could have made. I'll help you by doing what I've been doing from the start. Yu was getting better. It's my fault that their health took a turn. Lion, you're taking on too much. What are your friends saying about you coming here every single day? I brushed off their concerns with a dismissive wave of my hand. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter? My dismissive response triggered a reaction in Yua, their eyebrows knitting together. No one else needs to be involved. You and I are fine by ourselves. I insisted, my voice hollow with resignation. I'm tired. I haven't slept a wink. Forget it. I don't want to talk to you, Lion, you haven't been coming to class. You're not responding to any of our friends' texts, and you refuse to speak to me. Yua's eyes searched mine for any glimmer of understanding. Don't you see how you're isolating yourself? Please, tell me what happened yesterday. I sighed. Yua will not let this go until I tell him everything. That's the kind of person they are. Reluctantly, I relented. Fine. I explained to them what happened yesterday. Yua listened intently, nodding and humming along as I told them every single thing you and I said to each other. Why don't I date Yua instead? Yua is so much more understanding. Well, this would have been you, like if you had picked the female, love interest instead. But still, why didn't I date the other sibling? Like, they listen. It's easy for me to remember exactly how it went. Last night, I kept reliving the moment over and over again, trying to understand where was it that I went wrong. After I was finished, Yua looked up at me. Without uttering a single word, they shook their head and sighed. Yua was accusing me of trying to break up with them again. I grimaced. The first time I tried to do that, I actually went to Yua for help. They helped me come to a decision. But this time, you could never say you wanted to break up. No. They didn't even let you get a word in, right? That's exactly it. I was afraid of making it worse. It wouldn't have happened if I kept my mouth shut. If I had just left things the way they were, you wouldn't have started coughing like that again. I am not falling for this, okay? Like, seriously, if you started making a fit like that in front of me, I'd be like, I would just give him a deadpan stare and be like, okay, are you freaking done? Are you done with your tantrum? Because I ain't gonna deal with that anymore. I don't want to deal with this emotional blackmailing anymore. That's not something I ever want to deal with, okay? God. It all started when I had the bright idea of talking about our relationship that day. It's important to talk about. It's important to talk about your relationship, like, at just about any step in the way. Like, literally. Come on. Everything was fine. Said again yesterday. I tried to do the same. Everything was great. Everything. But because of me, they're sick again. While watching me mutter to myself, Yua finally put their tray down. They placed their hands firmly on the table, bringing my attention back to them. Speaking as a third party, sounds like you might have manipulated you back there. I know, right? Caught off guard, I blinked. Once, then twice. Confusion etched across my features. I stammered. What? Undeterred by my bewilderment, Yua continued. That's what it sounds like to me. They talked about how nice and supportive the orchestra is. But the moment you brought up the subject of a breakup, suddenly, they're mean. The way they brought up the possibility of dying and implied it would be your fault sounds like guilting you into staying. Exactly! And most importantly, they accuse you of saying things you didn't say. I took a deep breath, biting my lower lip. That's important, Lion. You know what you did and didn't say. Think about it. Yua leaned back, their gaze unwavering, awaiting my response. What matters is that Yu's feelings were hurt. You're right, I really didn't imply that I wanted to break up. They're right about this, by the way! I didn't imply that I wanted to break up. Do you feel like you put words in your mouth? Yes. Yua moved their hands away from the table, and for a second, I thought they were going to lean in to touch me. They hesitated, instead placing their hands on their lap instead. You don't have to carry this burden alone. Friendship means being there for each other, especially in the tough times. You don't have to face this alone. I've got your back. Hearing such sentimental things, I almost wonder if this really was Yua who was speaking. They were never one to be honest about their feelings or speak aloud about our friendships and bonds. It was a touching sentiment, especially coming from them. Yua, but there was still something bothering me. Yua wants me to share my burdens regarding you. At the same time, I know it's upsetting, but I need to know why they don't want to see you. Yeah, I need to know why. Yua, can I ask why you don't want to see you? Yua took a moment to collect their thoughts, their gaze momentarily distant. Seeing you like that, it's bringing back some difficult memories. For me and my father. Yua had a family member hospitalized before? You don't want to talk about it. It's tough. That must be it. The reluctance to confront you wasn't merely about personal discomfort, but was rooted in a painful past. Stupid people who make their partners cry should think twice before they speak. Yua will tell me when they want to, not a second earlier. I have to see you. Yua tilted their head. You have to or you want to? Gritting my teeth, I realized that I had no response to that. Well, let's see where this goes. Hey, you... Oh, you're smiling again? You think you won? You think I'm here for you, butthole? Lion, you came. I stood before you, my heart heavy with remorse. Hey, you... I'm sorry. My words faltered. Guilt gnawed at my insides. I felt terrible. Guilty. You shook their head and reached out to grasp my hands. No, let's not talk about it. It's better that we don't talk about yesterday. Nodding in agreement, I struggled to meet Yu's gaze, the weight of my own inadequacies bearing down on me like a heavy object on my shoulders. Right, you're right. All I do is hurt them. I shouldn't talk at all. I got you something. Please, take it. In an attempt to bridge the gap, Yu diverted the conversation with a small gesture of kindness. They reached over to the nightstand next to the bed and showed me a hairpin. Take it with you. Me? But it's yours, isn't it? And isn't it a gift from one of their clubmates too? It's a thank you for always coming to see me. Plus, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. But you... Take it. With a hesitant nod, I accepted the offering, my fingers trembling as I reached out to take the hairpin you offered. I mean, thank you? Oh, and this too. Delving beneath the bedsheets, you retrieved some lined paper and handed it to me. What's this? I did some fortune telling this morning, and the flowers told me some really important things. They told me I should write down my feelings and let you read them. It's a gift. Please read it after you leave. Can't I read it now? No, it's embarrassing. You can't. I'm reading it. No! Cute. Look, they're so cute. Yua was overreacting after all. You isn't the kind of person. They're too innocent and cute. Don't fall for it, you dumb butt. And it's okay. After what I did to them, I got what I deserve. I get it, but it's still not gonna stop me from being mad at it. I get it, but I'm still mad. Okay, I'll read it when I get home. Promise? I squeezed Yu's hand and smiled. Promise. Yu giggled quietly, their gaze dropping shyly to the floor, a soft smile playing at the corners of their lips. A few seconds of comfortable silence went by. I'd be fine staying here with you for a long time, just enjoying their company. I'm happy Yu doesn't want to talk about yesterday. It's better this way. I highly doubt that. Perhaps some things are better left unspoken. Then they let out another giggle. Hey, yo! You know, I don't need anyone else but you. You moved their hand from mine, instead placing it on my cheek. I recoiled instinctively, immediately apologized, and moved to accept their touch. The more I think about it, the more I understand. You and I are meant to be. We're fated soulmates. I so desperately want to punch you. I want to knock the wind out of his gut. Like being a hospitalized patient, be damned. I will ruin this lad like 10 times over what he did to me. Another giggle escaped their lips, and Yu tilted their head, stroking my cheek up and down. That's why I can't stop thinking about you. Well, I'll give you something to think about. You're everything I think about. I want to spend every waking moment next to you. Their other hand reached to touch my shoulder. I dream of you. Every night, I see your face, and it's the only thing that makes my dreams worth having. Their hand, cold as ice, reached out to touch my shoulder, sending a shiver down my spine. You? Their hands are freezing, colder than they should be. As I thought, yesterday was terrible on their health. The symptoms are returning. I can't bear to be away from you for even a moment. It feels like an eternity. Every article and piece I've read on this disease said the same thing. I must reciprocate their feelings. That's the only way for them to get better. That's a bit much. That's too much. That's way too much. It's too much. Too intense. I love them, but not to that level. I can't say that out loud. You will cry. I see. That must be why the symptoms have not ceased. Lion? It's nothing. I love you, Yu. I love you. Day and night, I think about you. How unwell they are. How it's my fault. It really isn't. Okay? It's really not. They need to get over you. But I'm not thinking about that or visiting them. I'm reading about their diagnosis. I have to love you just like they love me. Otherwise, they could die. Good! In this hospital, alone, struggling to breathe better! Coughing up their lungs with no cure in sight. Perfect! I'm so happy. It haunts me. That image. I can't live with that. I can! I totally can! I mean, heck, he would look a lot more peaceful in a casket. I observed as Yu took their hands away from me to adjust the arrangements of the Hydrangea bouquet, fingers tracing the delicate petals. I love your presence too. Sadly, it was getting late, and it started to rain too. I had to go, lest the nurses came to kick me out again. The visiting hours are almost over. There was a fleeting moment of hesitation before Yu nodded, accepting the reality of the situation. Ah, okay. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope not! You'll come tomorrow, right? And every day? Until I get better? My classes! Of course. If you don't come, I'll be... Nah, don't get sicker, please. Enough of the charades, for the love of God. I'll come. I'll absolutely come, okay? Don't be sad. You only has me. Okay. I believe you. You leaned their head on my shoulder. A contented sigh escaped their lips. Can I punch him now? Can I please? It's the perfect position. I could just punch him. And be like, oh, nurse. Like, oh, he just had another coughing fit. Oh, no. Oh, what are we going to do? Then they looked up at me, the eyes glittering. Also, isn't that an easy way to actually just deal with this? Like, hey, like if the sickness came from the fact that it's a one-sided love, if they don't love me anymore, that would fix them. That would fix all the problems. I could just punch him and get it over with. That's how we can end this. Try not to mess up this time, sweetie. Oh, screw off. I use expectations were a heavy, suffocating blanket. I won't. God, I could. I'm ready. I am so ready. Visiting hours are over. Thank you. Hey, Lion, did you hear me? Oh, yeah, I'm leaving. Could you pump him full of like of whatever you intend to pump in with? Like just triple the dose. No, just quadruple the dose. Okay, he's gonna need all of it. I am so mean to them. God. I exited the hospital alongside other visitors and staff. The afternoon sky stretched overhead, the fading remnants of the day's sunlight casting a golden glow. A sudden, sharp realization gripped me, freezing me in my tracks. I stood there, the bustling noise of the surroundings morphing into a distant hum. I fumbled through my pockets, rifling through the contents of my bag. I looked everywhere, but it was not there. No. Forgot to take Yu's letter with me. Letter they specifically wrote for me. Well, sick that he took the time to write for me. A sense of dread clawed at my heart. You will be mad. You will be upset with me. You will... this is a clear indication that you are going through a hell lot of emotional abuse. I can't breathe. Exactly. You will cry and sob and say it's my fault. Because it is my fault. It's my fault they're sick. But I can't go back to their room. Even if I did, they could get mad because I forgot it, and that means I don't care for them enough. Everything was alright when I left, but tomorrow, it'll be awful again. The surroundings blurred. I couldn't hear anything other than my heartbeat, quickening with each spiraling thought. Everything that seemed alright moments ago now felt like a prelude to impending disaster. Tears welled up in my eyes, blurring my vision. A torrent of racing thoughts surged through my mind. I deserve it. For messing up again. You don't? Why can't I do anything right? I'm so useless. Every inhale felt inadequate. There's no air. We're outside, but there's no more air for me. I can't breathe. The weight of my chest intensified with a vice-like pressure that made it impossible to draw a full breath. I can't breathe, and it's suffocating. I get it. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, it's terrible. Jesus Christ. Yes, I know you're anxious. Stop. Lion! Lion, what's wrong? What did you do? You are emerged into focus. I can't breathe. Why couldn't I have dated? Leave me alone. I can't hear them. Deep breaths. You're having... I don't need you! I snapped. I still can't breathe. It's only you and I. Nobody else can help them. Lion, wait! I'm terrified of seeing you tomorrow, but I have to. You really don't? One day in the fading light of the afternoon, you and I decided to spend some time goofing off after school. We were eating some snacks Yua had bought from a vending machine. It was rare the three of us could be together this late in the day. Yu was plenty busy with the club activities most of the week. Yua mentioned something about them wanting to spend more time with me, but at the same time, I thought they were kidding. Why ducks though? Can we not? Ugh. Yua's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, and they shot a pleading glance at Yu, who laughed timidly. Well, Yua and I created a friendship where I could tease them, and we jabbed back with no hard feelings. Yu was still slowly coming out of their shell. I know why. They had something of a need to be accepted into any group. I noticed. I want to know. Always wanting that sense of belonging. It started as a joke. Our dad gifted Yua a plastic duck as a gag, and it just snowballed from there. You, shush. We couldn't use the bathtub anymore. It's plastic ducks all over. All over? Floating around, going quack, 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 quack. Ah. The scene played in my mind. An unsuspecting you just wanting to relax with a bath, only to find that a comical amount of plastic ducks had taken over their bathroom. Don't laugh at me. I managed to gasp between fits of laughter, motioning at Yua. Why do you have so many ducks, buddy? It's a hobby. Everyone has one. You has their piano, and you have annoying the heck out of me. Look, I'm sorry. That's how I show affection. Oops. In my amusement, I laughed so hard that I accidentally dropped my food. In a futile attempt to salvage the situation, I reached out, but instead of preventing a mess, my actions directed a trajectory straight onto you, creating a chaos of saucy stains on the uniform. Oh no, you is so saucy. You know, I would make that joke, but I have no respect for you. I have no respect for you, my lad. What? Oh god, I am so sorry. You said it was alright, but the sauce-stained clothes told a different story. It's okay. I'll go to the bathroom and clean up. I really didn't mean for that to happen. I'm so sorry. It wasn't as bad as it is now, but I've always been sensitive to guilt, for a lack of a better word. I felt tremendously guilty for ruining Yu's uniform that day. I don't! It's alright. After you rushed off to clean themselves, Yua helped me collect the remains of the food that had fallen to the floor. As we bent down to tidy the mess, a subtle yet melancholic smile graced Yua's features, catching me off guard. Yu is like this now, but before, they protected me. Sorry, what? I was the one who needed help. Yua's sudden expression of vulnerability caught me off guard. So much so, I questioned if I was hearing things. What do you mean? Yua remained silent, their gaze fixed on the floor. It felt as if I repeated my question, I would hurt them. If I hurt others, then I'll feel terrible. I don't want to be bad. I don't want to hurt anyone. The last thing I wanted was to inflict pain onto Yua, or anyone else for that matter. I'm back! Yu returned not long after, breaking the heavy silence that had settled over us. To choose water and soap, Yua returned to their usual calm persona the moment their twin entered the room. Of course I did! Yua and Yu were changing, slowly but noticeably. We all change. We're young, and still building our identities. I understand that. But until what point do the changes signify something good, or... Lion! Are you not listening to me? I am! They changed. Yu keeps changing, every single day here. I see. I matter this little to you. You'd rather think about other people rather than hang out with me. I want to ruin this dumb little Themby so hard right now. Words that cut deep into my soul. The exact ones I'm afraid of hearing. No, you know I love you. You're the only one for me. There's so many others. There are so many other people out there. I'm at a loss for how to comfort you. Nothing I do is enough. Nothing I do is alright. As the day goes by, I feel like I can't say or do anything without first asking you if I should. Even things completely unrelated to them. I'm just gonna turn my phone off. What? Your phone? Why? Their tone growing increasingly agitated. I could see it coming. So we can talk in peace. You creep? Who's messaging? No one! Do you want me to give you a broken face along with whatever this disease is that you've got. You know what? You know what? I could easily cure you of this disease, but you know what? I want to make you suffer. I want to watch you bleed. I want you to be absolutely ruined, knowing that the one you love will never love you back. No one. I have to tiptoe around you, constantly second-guessing myself and seeking their approval. I should know when to speak and when to keep my mouth shut. Wrong answer. Stupid. Dumb. Selfish. Who's messaging you? The uncommon sound of you raising their voice to scream was quickly becoming an everyday noise. Why are you dealing with this? Just some friends. I'm not responding, I swear. Show me. I swear, You don't love me anymore, is that it? You don't love me? I don't. You found someone much better than me to chat with, and now you're going to leave me alone in this bed you put me in? You're so evil! You're evil, Lion! Well, yes. If being evil means I don't have to deal with your pretentious butt every single day, where I have to put your needs over my own, I'd gladly be evil just for you. That's what you want, right? This has nothing to do with that. Why are you so suspicious of me? How can you claim to love me if you don't trust me at all? I can't ask those questions. It'll only make them matter. I love you. I'm sorry. You can look at my messages. I relented, my voice barely above a whisper. I just want everything to go back to how it was. I love you too. Don't go screw yourself. Turning off my phone was an attempt to carve out a semblance of control. I couldn't do it without their permission. So in the end, I have no control at all. You briefly glanced through my messages. Each passing second felt like an eternity. I shouldn't argue anymore. There's no point. Why am I dealing with this? Why am I dealing with all this abuse? I don't understand. Where should I spend my lunchtime? I know. Not like it matters. Every single day is the same. God damn. Cafeteria. Hey, did you hear what they're planning for the patient at room 402 over at the East Wing? Something good, I hope. That's the one, the rare illness. Still not out? That's it. I heard the news scans showed that their lungs are in even worse shape. I hear it, but I don't understand it. I'm tired. Excuse me. You okay? I walk to my usual table. Nobody stops me. Hospital food is completely tasteless. When was it I last ate? You're not even taking care of yourself, my guy? It's noisy. I can't focus on anything. My brain's in a constant foggy blur. I don't know what's a dream and what's reality anymore. Beef stroganoff again? I can't eat this anymore. Nostalgic. A thing of the past, and I furiously wish that I could go back and forget everything that happens after. A thing of the past, and for just a second, I feel something other than numbness. I'm recalling... Lion? The day when it was just the two of us. Yeah? At that point, I was already thinking of asking them out. You was cute. We got along well, and we would chat over the phone for hours at a time. I had fun being with you and you, but I also want to spend time alone with them. I'm really happy to be here with you. Thank you. It was a crush. I wanted it to be more than that. Me too. Hey. I want to know more and more about you. Can I ask you something? Of course. Anything. I even looked up what kind of questions to ask the person you're crushing on. I really, really did like you. What is it? Why do you like the piano? Because, I don't know, I just play it. Why did you start to play it? A sad smile flitted across Yu's lips as they spoke. Their gaze distant for a blink of a second. My mom took me to lessons when I was smaller. She played it too. She wanted me to play just like her. So you've been playing for a while? Yeah, Yua used to take lessons too, but not anymore. They never liked it much. They rather ask our dad for more money to buy tiny ducks. That sounds like Yua. Yua was what got us together. At some point, I realized that the conversation would always circle back to them. But what about you? What is it? What else do you like to do on your free time? What else? Other than fortune telling and playing the piano, any other hobbies? Fortune telling is just something I do because I'm always so anxious. It's not really a hobby. And I play the piano because it's what I do, I guess. When we go out, I'll do whatever Yua wants to do. I don't do much else. Ah, I see. I was hoping to get some ideas for possible dates with them. It seems that you was caught in a cycle of routine and obligation, with little room for exploration or excitement. But I go anywhere you'd like. It will be really fun. If you line, I think I'd like that. A blush rose to my cheeks. Yu's heartfelt confession made a warmth spread through my chest. Their sincerity was one of the things I liked the most about them. Me too. What is it? What's your family like? It's me, my dad, and Yua. What does your dad do? Yu hesitated for a moment before responding. He works at an office, accounting stuff. We don't do much together because he's always working a lot. And he likes Yua more. Yu added that last part quietly, scratching the nape of their neck. What do you say that? He just does. We're not close. Family was a delicate subject for Yu. Yua too never liked talking too much about it. I decided not to bring it up anymore. Instead, I offered them a small smile. What are your dreams? What are your dreams like? What do you want to achieve in the future? I'm probably, try to get a music scholarship. That's awesome. Yu's smile faltered, replaced by a sad expression that pulled at my heartstrings. I know if it'll happen, though. I'm not that good. You're really good. Everyone loves it when you play the piano. I'm sure you'll get it. Thank you, Lion. I needed that. It would be nice if we could go to the same university. They didn't answer my question, though. Sounds like they're going for the scholarship just... for what? To me, it sounded like you was pursuing the scholarship more out of obligation than genuine passion. Is it really a dream? What? Do you actually want the scholarship? You want to keep studying music and stuff. The silence fell between us, thick and suffocating, as you struggled to find the right words to respond. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Forget it. I backpedaled hastily, realizing too late the hurt that my words had caused. Stupid. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Even back then, I heard them with my stupid, thoughtless word. It was just a curious question, my guy. What is it? Yeah, that's enough. I don't want to. I didn't even want to talk to you. Can I ask you questions now? Sure. Yay! This'll be fun. We stayed at school, asking each other questions, chatting and goofing off for hours. We got told off by a teacher, even. It was fun. I really did have a lot of good moments with you back then. I want everything to go back to how it was. I lost track of time. I go to see you with a bouquet of hydrangeas. You cries and screams at me because I did something wrong. What did I do? What did I do? I apologize and apologize and apologize till I can't breathe. Yua tries to convince me to eat. I'm not hungry. Go away. Yu gives me another gift. We are good now. Things are back to normal. We love each other. The next day, I go to see you with a bouquet of hydrangeas. Yu cries and screams at me because I did something wrong again. I apologize. Yua speaks about the past. I yearn for it. I tell him about the nightmare I had, where Yu dies in my arms and it's too late to call for help. I yearn for it. Go away. Yu gives me another gift. We are good now. Things are back to normal. We love each other. The next day, I go to see you with a bouquet of hydrangeas. My love isn't strong enough, so their health worsens. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yua tells me they can't do this anymore. Me neither. Me neither. There's the phase of reconciliation, you know? They try to make amends apologies, promises to change, or gestures like giving presents. Go away. She's telling you something important! You gives me another gift. We are good now. Things are back to normal. We love each other. I love you. Screw you. The next day, I go to see you for a bouquet of hydrangeas. You didn't say you love me. I literally did! What are you talking about? Do you want me to start recording our conversations? Is that what you want me to do? Should I start doing that again? I didn't? Oh. I'm sorry. I don't know if you is right or not. They must be. I'm always in the wrong. It's my fault. Yua speaks as if they know everything about everything. Tension's the first stage. It's a build-up of stress and unease. The feeling that something is about to go wrong. Next is the incident. This is when things boil over. It could be an argument, a confrontation, or any form of... She's telling you something really important, my guy! Yu gives me another gift. We are good now. Things are back to normal. We love each other. I love you. Love you too. Said it this time. I should say it twice from now on so I never forget again. I go see you for a bouquet of hydrangeas. Yu cries and screams at me because I did something wrong again. I apologize and apologize and apologize till I can't breathe. Yu tries to convince me to eat. I'm not hungry. Go away. He gives me another gift. We are good now. Things are back to normal. We love each other. The next day, I go to see you with a bouquet of hydrangeas. You cries and screams at me because screw you! Like, you are a sad little muffin and a rotten one at that, and you don't even deserve to be in the trash. I apologize. At least trash could be used as fertilizer or could be recycled. You, on the other hand, like no one knows what to do with you. That's why you're left here alone. Yua speaks about the past. I yearn for it. Tell him about a nightmare I had where you dies in my arms and it's too late to call for help. I yearn for it. Go away. Another gift. We're good now. Screw you. Next day, gotta see you. Okay. My love isn't strong enough, so the health worsens. Can we please just put them out of their misery? I'm sorry. Yua tells me they can't do this anymore. Me neither. Oh my god. How long is this gonna go on for? Holy frick. Wait, hang on. Wait a minute. So I just hit the skip button. And like, yeah, that just goes on and on and on. I think of running off. Somewhere far, far away. A place where you doesn't exist. Nobody knows me there. For that moment, I'm happy. The next day I go to see... I'm just gonna... Oh, okay, I see... Because I had such awful selfish thoughts yesterday, they cough up petals and cry. I'm at fault. I don't care. You... It's not here. It's not a surprise. I'm here every day for me. I'm not worth it. Can't do anything right. Useless. Oh, Yua, what the hell? The next day, my legs took me to the East Wing's 4th floor hallway once more. Everything I did was on autopilot. I was not planning on talking to you. I was not planning on talking to anyone except you. I wanted to be left alone. Can we talk? But Yua has been good to me. They've heard me out, day after day. Even when I yelled at them to go away, I pushed them away, over and over. For some reason, they stayed. For some reason, they haven't given up on me like everyone else has. Sure, we can talk. Yesterday, you told me about the nightmare you had. Was that yesterday? Feels like a month ago. A month feels like a week ago. I don't know where in time I am. You're scared that you will die because of you. That's why you're driving yourself sick. Yeah, but I'm fine. I'm okay. Assume you've read about the treatments for the disease. That's all I do when I'm not here. Then you know about the surgeries and the transplants and how they've been successful. Patients with Yu's disease have gone through successful lung surgeries. It's true. Read about it. And I read about it. And read about it some more. The risks are too big.
They should go with it. They should go with it. I mean, heck, if the risks are big, you win. Like, either way.
it's a win-win. Like, either you gets cured, or you don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm happy either way. What if they don't work? If something goes wrong, you could die. Great! Lung surgeries have so many risks. Infections, bleeding, air leaks, damage to the lungs, blood vessels, the nerves, even the heart. If you dies, it'll be my fault, because I made them sick. Not to mention post-operatory complications. Some people don't ever wake up from anesthesia, and... You all looked deep into my eyes as I blabbered on. Lion. I paused to breathe, but they put a hand on my shoulder. Do you really believe that? Or is that what you told you? If it were you from 3 months ago, would you believe the things you're saying? I don't know. The kind of person I was 3 months ago. 6 months. A year. You and the disease, and how to make it better, are the only things in my mind all day, every day. I don't know. The lion I was friends with would ask you to get the surgery, because you always want the best for your friends. That's the kind of person you are. How did you forget that, Lion? Yua's words were like a slap to my face. Your relationship with you is bringing out the worst from you both. I've watched you become lethargic, anxious, depressed. You isolated yourself from everyone who loves you. You stopped doing the things you enjoy. Please, Lion, think about it. A healthy relationship would not do this to you. I let Yua's words sink in. A healthy relationship. I know that is supposed to be like. My parents have one. My friends too. I've seen them in books, movies, cartoons. I know what it is. It's because Speechless, I try to find a way to explain myself. But Yua stopped me, shaking their head, as if they know what was going through my mind. Since when have I been this anxious? Doubting every little thing? Thinking of the what-ifs and despairing over them? There's a few articles I'd like you to read. I'll send them to you. Take a look. I can't. What? You has my phone. The moment the words left my mouth, I noticed something that was supposed to be obvious. What? Why? The response was quiet, barely hearable. The realization embarrassed me. Because you need to check my messages to see if I'm cheating on them. Something so simple. You has my phone. My goddamn phone. I've watched movies where this exact thing happens, and I've laughed or gotten frustrated at the characters that let it happen. I read books where the love-struck protagonists stay with partners who would steal their phones or constantly accuse them of cheating. It's me. It's so obvious, so stupid. Check the links I sent you when you get home then. And I have some books you could borrow as well. Do you want them? I'm the idiotic protagonist who can't see the truth right before them. The hell am I doing? Seriously, how did I let you do this? It's not normal. It's not something you do to a partner. Thank you, Yua. You've helped me already. So you're going home? And resting and having a decent meal? No. There's something else I need to do first. I need to talk to you. I'm angry. At myself for being so blind. And at you for doing this to me. Lion? I'll go rest. I promise. Sorry, Yua. It's my turn to lie. Alright. Call me when... send me an email or something when you get home. Of course. A myriad of memories returned to me then. I headed to room 402. Is this when I punch him? God damn it. Break up? Yeah. I'm sorry, you, but I don't think this will work out. But why? My flowers said we're meant to be. This can't be true. No. I had seen the sign slowly popping up as we spent time together. For now, I'd like to take a break from a romantic relationship with you. A break? You know it's not a thing. At first, you was sweet, kind, funny. I had fun being with them. We can still be friends. I don't want to lose the bond we have. But dating you was not what I expected it to be. It was their cuteness that I was attracted to. Their kind, sweet personality. But I didn't really know them, I noticed. Not nearly as much as I knew Yua. Frankly, being with you was becoming a chore, an exhausting one. It was becoming too much for me to handle. I found myself no longer looking forward to talking or being near them as sweethearts. Planning dates or going out of my way to walk them home was not something I enjoyed anymore. How could you? The attraction I had towards them was superficial. By talking with you about it, I realized that what I wanted was for the three of us to go back to how we were before. You listened to me. I thought if we had a pause on what was going on between us, we could take some time to rethink what we wanted. I just want my friend back. You know, a punch is too good for you. A punch is too good for you, and you know, I thought of stabbing you. I'll be honest. I'm thinking of stabbing you, but you know, death is too good of a fate for you. Screw off. Then it happened. You? What's going on? You okay? I'm not even gonna bother reading the You began to cough aggressively. Strange things I couldn't take a good look at left their mouth as they heaved. I didn't understand back then what it meant. The disease, its symptoms, and the cause. Certainly, that day, what you understood was that I didn't love them anymore. That's how we ended up here. That's how I lost sight of what's important to me. Pushing open the door, I entered Ryu's hospital room. Lion, you're back! Screw off! I wasted a single moment before. I knew I had to say it now. We need to talk. Ryu's eyes met mine, a mixture of surprise and curiosity flickering in their gaze. Talk? About what? I took a deep breath. About us. Our relationship. Again with this? If I let them, they won't let me get a word. It's not working, you, and we can't keep pretending everything's okay. You shifted uncomfortably in the bed, shaking their head. You. Do you want me to die? You know you're killing me if you do this. I don't care. Oh, yeah. Cough out a lung, why don't you? I looked it up, you. There's some treatments that you could take part of. They're experimental, but they have good results. There are people with your illness who are living full lives and don't have to stay in hospitals. There's a surgery too, for the lungs. It's experimental, but it works. Even if we break up or something happens to me, you don't have to die, you. No! You coughed up again and again. With a gasp, they managed to speak. No! How could you say that? Surgery? The one that could remove all of my emotions to... Wow. Just how delusional are you? Like, legit. Like, you are, like the most delusional person I have met in my life. What? It's just a rumor. There's no cases where... Liar! Are you telling me your emotions are in your lungs? Do you breathe your feelings? Well, to be fair, I don't even know if you have any. You want me to suffer, don't you? All this time, you secretly hated me, haven't you? No, I actually hate you. You want me to die! You do, yes! Every fiber of my being wanted to scream. No, that's not it at all. I recall the articles I read and what you taught me. It doesn't matter what I say. They're just going to twist it and find another way to make me out to be the bad guy. I don't want you to die, you. I want you to be okay. I need you to... But I need to be okay too, and I'm not. Don't you see? Haven't been sleeping, talking to my friends, or even eating. No, don't. You don't give a shit, don't you? You reached over to one of the nightstands. I clenched my fists and gritted my teeth in frustration. We're not over. We're not breaking up. That words mean nothing to them, don't they? That's not your decision to... You? No. We're not breaking up. We're not... Go ahead! Do I look like I care? At this point, do I look like I care? I gasped at the sight before me. Take it back, or I'll die. You held a small knife to their neck. Right here, right now. Who gave you a knife? No, you, please. Guilt. Panic. You're so mean to me, Lion. Calling me those things, making up lies about me. You know, It would be so funny if I had recorded all this information. Like, if I recorded all these conversations, showed everyone just how much of a manipulative bastard you are. You've made me so sad. I want to die. I want to die so badly. You put me in this hospital. You made me so sick. I can't get out of bed. I can't breathe. I can't play the piano. I'm stuck to this room. I have no one else but you. Well, okay. Bye. If anything, you're the abusive one, Lion. You're the one who ruined my life. What is this? I'm the bad guy? Because I made you go this far? Make them drop the knife. Make them stop. How?
Easy. Let him keep going. I don't care anymore.
If you dies because of me, I won't know what to do with myself. Being responsible for someone's death is something I'll save you. I will. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I don't know anything. I can't think of anything. Just please, drop the knife, okay? Give it to me. I love you. What am I? Without...
I strangled the protagonist too.
What kind of person was I before we started dating?
You said you want to break up.
I'm sorry. No, I don't want to break up. We'll stay together forever. If you love me, then say sorry. Apologize for saying I'm evil, for saying I'm the villain. That it's my fault you're unwell.
Bitch, it is.
Apologize for lying. Did I say that? Was I lying?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
I just want you to drop the knife.
I just want this to be over.
Sorry for lying and for implying.
You said I'm evil.
Sorry for saying you're evil. Please forgive me, you piece of shit. I don't want you to die. I hate you. I freaking hate you. Words as heavy as air, as meaningful as a passing wind.
Screw you, you. Please, freaking die. Please.
I can't read this anymore. You eventually gave me the knife. By the time they calmed down, we were both sobbing. My head hurt.
And I stab him. I stab him.
My eyes ached. I'm a terrible person,
And then I stab him.
From that day on, you continued to get better, then worse, then better. There seemed to be no end to it. Over and over, the cycle started up again. In my head, I knew it was wrong. I knew Yua had a point. I knew this wasn't a healthy relationship. But whenever I showed my doubts, you would do it again. Again. We start from scratch next day and continue where we left off. If I don't love them back, they'll die. If not from the disease. Loves me not. Loves me not. Loves me. Wow, that's 6 times in a row. We really are fated soulmates. We'll never be apart. Right, sweetie? Screw off. Lion, did you not hear me? Say that you love me. Say it.
Say it!
Right. What day is it? When was the last time I spoke to anyone else? I don't know. Say it. I love you, you. I love you. Say it, or I could die. Do you want that to happen? No. I love you, you. Yay. I'm so happy. I love you too. Yua, you might have given up on me. That's okay. I've given up on myself too.
That was just one of the 4 endings, by the way. We're gonna need to go back and deal with his manipulative butt again.
Alright, we're going back to the very beginning. This time we're gonna try getting ending 1 before we go on to the true ending and try to get our hands on the secret ending. I'm just gonna go with, I want to stay, but I should let him rest. I have to get going now, you. I reluctantly announced, a heavy sigh escaping my lips. Yu's gaze dropped to the hospital sheets. I understand. See you later. I approached the door, its hinges creaking softly as it swung open. Turning back one last time, my gaze lingered on you, who offered a smile, and I guess we'll skip ahead. Okay, so in order to get ending 1, you mainly have to make choices that push you closer towards the love interest and away from their sibling. So, unable to contain myself, I grabbed their shoulders. I got up and grabbed Yua's shoulders, forcing them to look straight at me. What are you doing here? You and Yua are family. When we met, they got along just fine. Why are you ignoring you? The least you can do is... Yua's shoulder began to shake in my hands. I never seen them with such an expression on their face, their eyebrows pulled together, eyes wide, paralyzed to the spot. Let me go. Taken back by their unexpected reaction, I immediately let go. Lion, never do that again. I started to say, attempting an apology, but the words caught in my throat. The lingering anger I felt towards Yua stifled any attempt to express remorse. Yua shook their head, making eye contact, looking down at the remains of my meal on the table. Eat. Try to eat. You need it. I'm leaving. Lion. Man. Yua's gaze never left my back as I walked away. I don't like that I'm going down this route, but it's what's needed to get the true ending too. I ignored it. The building's exit was right nearby, and I made my way towards it. Somehow, my feet, heavy with guilt and regret, brought me to the hospital's exit. I understand now what's really important to me. You. If I had realized this before, they wouldn't have gone so ill. Everything else, the trivial concerns that had preoccupied my mind, paled in comparison. It all comes second to their happiness.
Oh, I guess it's the next day. We're gonna skip ahead then. Okay, over here, I'm supposed to say I don't want to speak with you,
I can't. I'm angry. I don't want to speak to...
Bonk.
Hey! Don't be mad at my stead. I'm not angry, see?
It's because you're too pure and good to feel that kind of emotion. At least that's what I thought before things went real bad.
Please, Lion, at least talk with them a little bit. Please? We don't know what's going on in their head, and knowing my sibling, they're worried about things they shouldn't be thinking about. When I get out of here, I want things to be just like they were before, including the three of us hanging out and laughing together like family. We were close. I considered them my best friend. That's the truth. Yesterday I was so angry. That fact didn't move me at all, but now I understand. I should apologize.
Okay, and we're gonna skip ahead.
Over here, I guess I'm supposed to say, I do love them, silly. Our love is real. It's mutual. You is recovering a little bit more every single day. You know that if you saw him once or twice. I emphasized that last part with a playful jab at Yua's shoulder. I'm not mad anymore, but I still want them to see you. It'll be good for both of them. Have you two talked about the breakup since that time?
Well, I'm pretty sure we didn't, so I'm just gonna skip ahead.
Alright, and over here, we're supposed to say,
nah, I don't think we'll talk about a breakup. She'll still make us, talk about a breakup either way.
Frankly, I wish I had never attempted to break up with you at all. It was a mistake. If it were up to me, I'd rather pretend it never happened. That way I'll never hurt you again. I can't. Please, Lion, at least give it a try. If not for you, do it for you. Yua has a point. Leaving things unsaid is not good for either of us. I'll try. You will? I don't want to look back on that day. Yeah, I'll try.
I will, and things go horribly wrong, of course, and we're skipping ahead.
Alright, and over here, we're supposed to say what matters is that Yu's feelings were hurt. Yu was upset, and that's what's important. Yua moved their hands away from the table, and for a second, I thought they were going to lean in to touch me. They hesitated, instead, placing their hands on their lap instead. You don't have to carry this burden alone. Friendship means being there for each other, especially in the tough times. You don't have to face this alone. I've got your back. Hearing such sentimental things, I almost wonder if this really was Yua who was speaking. They were never one to be honest about their feelings or speak aloud about our friendship and bonds. And yeah, we know, like, you was not exactly the softest, but then again, we're gonna skip right ahead. Okay, and over here, we're supposed to keep our mouths shut, and this doesn't matter, so we're just gonna skip all the way and tell him that, oh yes, I definitely feel the same way. When this is over. I started, my voice faltering as I struggled to mirror you. I want to go on dates with you and spend every second we have together. I try my hardest to imitate their words of love. More intense. I have to feel the same way. I need to. I don't care about anyone else either. It's only you that I want to be around. That's not true. I miss going to class. I miss hanging out with you after school. I'll come over every single day until we can leave together. I haven't slept. The thought of food makes me nauseous. Day and night, I think about them. How unwell you is. How it's my fault. I'm not thinking about that or visiting them. I'm reading about their diagnosis, and we're gonna skip ahead. Alright, so by right, we're supposed to head to the cafeteria to get maximum points with you. But, I'm curious about what's up in the rooftop, so let's check that out first. The air was thick, with the acrid scent of cigarette smoke. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh hey, you again. Yua was taking a smoke by the corner of the rooftop, away from everyone else. The gritty texture of the cinder walls pressed against my back as I leaned my head against them, sitting by Yua's side. The wisp of smoke curled upwards from the tip of their cigarette, which then dissipated into the darkness. I never stopped to look at Yua like this before. The way they smoke. Why do they do it? The sounds away from us seemed to be even further away. I could only hear the sound of our quiet breathing and the occasional flicker of the lighter as Yua played with it. Time seemed to stretch infinitely. Finally, as the last traces of smoke dissipated, Yua broke the silence. You know where the term gaslighting came from? Yua asked, the gaze fixed on the horizon. It's based on, like, a theater play or something, right? It's a term that dates back to a play, Gaslight by Patrick Hamilton. I listened to Yua, but their words sounded far away, hazy, distant. The manipulator dims the gaslights in the house, but when confronted, they deny any change, making the victim question their own perception of reality. It's a tactic, a form of psychological manipulation designed to make someone doubt their own sanity. With a heavy sigh, Yua lowered themselves to sit next to me. Their voice was quiet, almost gentle. People can be adept at gaslighting without even realizing it. I've been irritated lately, a lot. I'm sick of Yua's implications and talking around the subject. Yua's not gaslighting or manipulating me. We love each other. We fight sometimes, but we always make up. It's burdensome. I'm tired. I'm always tired. I know. I've been hearing you talk about it for days. You always make up. You always reconcile and pretend nothing happened. I shifted uncomfortably against the rooftop's gritty surface, my gaze fixed to the floor. Lion, that's the third stage of the cycle of abuse. Yua's response was measured, almost detached, as if they were observing the situation from a distance. Perhaps that's why they refuse to see you. Easier to watch than to partake. Yua keeps using the words abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, as if they're accurate to you and I. They are! They're not. It's not what's going on at all. It's not that simple. You is sick. A knot tightened in my stomach. Things just get heated, and then we find a way to make things right again. Yua regarded me with a steady gaze, their eyes boring into mine with an intensity that made me squirm. Does it really make things right, or does it just create a temporary calm before the storm returns? Look, the cycle goes tension, incident, reconciliation, and calm. I shook my head, unwilling to let Yua pull me into their made-up story. Don't explain it. I don't need it. I moved to get up. This has got to be the worst route to go through. God damn. As I pushed myself upright, my muscles protested with aching stiffness. The gritty texture of the rooftop surface scraped against the palms of my hands. Leave me alone. I turned away from Yua. I don't want to hear it. I just want everything to go back to how it was before. And it will. You just need to get better. They will. I'll be here tomorrow too, you know? Whatever. And I'm pretty sure, like, we're just gonna go through that cycle of abuse all over again. Lost track of time. I go to see you for a bouquet of hydrangeas. Yep, we've already seen the song and dance. Let's just skip ahead. The next day, my legs took me to the East Wing's 4th floor hallway once more. Everything I did was on autopilot. Lion. I was not planning on talking to you. I was not planning on talking to anyone except you. I wanted to be left alone. Can we talk? I don't need you. I don't need anyone. Nobody understands me. No. Leave me alone. All you do is try to keep you and I apart. I don't like you. I refuse to meet you as gaze, eyes fixed firmly on the floor. I tried to help you. You murmured their response softly. But now I understand. I can't save you. You're the one who has to take action. I headed to room 402. I hope you realize that, although the relationship was good once, you can't go back. The only way is out. I headed to room 402. Bye, Lion. I headed to room 402.
What the heck?
Well, I'll eat my lunch at the rooftop then. What? Don't go, Yua! Yeah, stay with us. You two are dating now.
I want to be a third wheel.
Or have to watch you get all mushy and touchy.
Ew. What are you talking about? You're part of the... Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, we don't get mushy. We're not like that. Unless Lion wants to.
You said no at the very beginning of all this!
What? Nothing. You don't want me around for this. It's fine.
He wants you here.
It's thanks to you that we found each other, right, you? Yua, you gotta stay, and after class, we should go shopping together. That's a date. I know you're shy, but can't go on your dates with you. It's not because I'm shy. I want all three of us to keep getting along like this always. And someone's gotta keep your duck addiction in check. Oi! Can't leave my little sibling alone. You're 15 minutes older. Well, fine. But I'm leaving the moment you two start getting gross. That's UIEs for I'm happy to be my friends. Quiet. There was a time when everything was good and peaceful. I didn't cry every day. I wasn't scared of speaking. We were happy together. Once. Now, I don't know how to smile in front of him. Something changed. Perhaps I did something wrong. That must be it. All I do is make mistake after mistake. I hurt everyone around me. I made my partner sick. I'm to blame for the end of those happy days. Lion, I like you. Yeah, I said it. It's all my fault. Mine.
I have to see his face again!
Hi, Lion. Hi. Don't scream at me. Please. Don't cry. I can't handle it anymore. You're looking thin. You have to eat well, okay? I can't because of your sick, but, like, thank you for your concern, but I know you don't care. What kind of person was I before this? If you die before me, I'll be all alone. Everything I do is for you. Everything I stop doing is for you's sake. But they're still sick. It's never enough. I have to become a better person. I have to love them more. I love you. You. A meaningless mantra. I love you too, Lion. The scent of hydrangeas never leave this room. I want to throw up. Let's be together. Forever. I want to go to sleep. It will be fine if I never woke up. It will be okay if everything would stop. Tomorrow, it will happen again. I'll come see you. They will smile. Utter sweet, meaningless words. And as if nothing happened the previous day, I'll put the bouquet of hydrangeas by their bedside. Or else, you know, the cycle goes on and on and on and on. I might die.
Please do! No one here cares! No one! God! A new ending has been unlocked? What? Okay, so right now we're gonna go for the true ending of this. And for this, like, after you unlock, like, the first two endings, once you go down Yua's route again, you'll have another option at the very end. So I'm gonna pick, I need to know why Yu is being like this. I asked Yua the question in my mind. Is there something like, did you go through something when you two were younger? Yua opened their mouth to speak, then closed it. I'm sorry. Stupid question. I shouldn't have asked. I'll shut up now. No, Lion. I'm just thinking. It's fine. I don't believe them. I shouldn't have said a thing. Everything I say upsets someone. Why am I so stupid? Lion. Yua stood in front of me and poked my shoulder. Huh? Sorry. I blinked away the tears that were threatening to spill from my eyes and cleared my throat with a cough. Remember when I said I can't bring myself to see you because I'm reminded of some bad memories? I shook my head. I'm sorry. My brain's a complete mess. I can barely remember what day of the week it is. How many days has it been since the hospitalization? I don't know. Also, how is it that, like, Yu's able to afford all this? Everything's mushed together and blended into one. Like, seriously, the dad's the only one working in the family. How much money does he make? It wasn't like this before. I really did have a decent memory, I think. You aside. They looked around the hallway. It was relatively empty. You might have learned it from my parents. I tilted my head. That was a nasty, terrible divorce. We were too young to understand what was happening back then. And I only know now because Dad told me about it. The woman who gave birth to us was... Seeming to lack the words to express themselves, Yua made a motion with their hands. No, I'll spell it out. Mom was verbally, psychologically, and emotionally abusive. She was horrible to him. And to us, too. When Dad wasn't around, we'd be the ones to be on the receiving end instead. I'm sorry. I had no idea you went through that. I knew their parents were divorced, but not about their mother. Yu's told me nice things about her. Just some memories, nothing like that. Yua nodded. She was always accusing him of cheating, even hired a PI and followed him around when he was out. You get the gist. She threatened to leave him or end her own life. Cry, scream, blame everything on him. Seems very familiar. All to keep Daddy close to her. Yua took a deep breath, biting their lower lip. For a moment, I thought they would start to cry. We were just kids. But Yua did not spill any tears. They continued talking mechanically, as if reading off a list of ingredients. She learned that the best way to get to him was to use this. A pause. One time, you forgot to give her the Mother's Day card we had made in school. Mom took it personally. She was awful to them. The entire day, she'd sprinkle in small comments that implied she would kill herself if she didn't get a card. Oh, God. It's terrible. Hugh tried to talk to her, tell her over and over again that she loved her, give her a different present, but nothing worked. She wanted the goddamn card. I just wanted her to stop, so I scribbled up a card, signed it with Yu's name, and gave it to her. Yua stopped again. They swallowed, and put a hand on their forehead. We were just kids. I put a hand on their shoulder. Yua still stood firm, even in the face of such horrible recollections. Sea Lion? Threats, manipulation, guilt-tripping. Growing up, that was the only example of romantic love we had. Two implications hung in the air. First, the answer to the mystery of why Yua always rejected those who confessed to them. Second, about you and I. Okay. Instead of responding, I changed the focus back to their mother. You guys ever see her? Your mom? No, there's a restraining order and an order of protection. Oh God. We haven't heard from her in years. There's a court case that's been going on for ages. Yua continued telling me all those awful things that their mother did to them and you, and how their family is still struggling to recover. It's horrible. and it feels like that's not even half of it. Some of those sounded familiar to me, but something in me refused to acknowledge it. You, reaching a point where one would need to get a restraining order against them? I can't see it. I can't. I've never talked about this out loud with anyone before. Yua leaned against the wall and smiled weakly. You and your dad don't talk about the past? No, nowadays we pretend that it never happened. Just like how you and I have been doing things. Never talk about what upsets us, pretending everything's fine the next day. Lion, thanks for hearing me out. I feel stronger. I don't know why, but I attempted to smile at them. You've always helped me out, even when I pushed you away. It's only fair I do the same for you. I'm really sorry you went through all that. You've been really strong, Yua. Yua widened their eyes in surprise. Strong? A minute of silence went by as we stood there by the wall. Why couldn't I have dated Yua? Well, we got the answer, actually. Nurses and patients passed by, look at us curiously. It's a matter of time before the usual nurse comes to kick us out. This conversation doesn't feel real, nor do the doubts going through my mind. What if Yua's right, and Yu is imitating their mother? How far will this go? I don't know. I've been unable to tell between what's reality and what's in my head for some time now, because it was Yua who broke the silence. I'm going to talk to you. Hey, yo! What? With a determined expression on their face, Yua turned to look in the direction of Yu's room. We need to talk about it. About Mom and what she did to us. The sudden decision caught me off guard. What if Yu gets upset? They will. No, you don't get it. If Yu gets upset, their illness still worsen. It's happened before. Or like, it happens every single time. That's why I can't do anything to hurt them. I have to make them happy. Lion, go home. You need to sleep. No, I have to see you. The sentence comes out of my mouth automatically. It was something I said to myself when I woke up every single day. What's wrong with me? I'm going instead, alright? I'll talk to them and make them understand why what they're doing to you is wrong. I've been thinking, if things had been a little different, I might have been in their shoes instead, and they in mine. If you remembers how it was with Mom, you might understand. The word idealistic went through my mind then. Yua. We have to be the ones to break the generational cycle. Cycle? They didn't look back, nor did they respond. For the first time since the hospitalization, Yua is going to see you. I should be happy, or excited, or even nervous. I should be cheering my friend on for doing something that takes so much courage. What? But all I felt was fear. Fear that after it was over, you would put the blame on me, and I would have to apologize over and over again. Somehow, this is my fault. It always is. I could not move. Since you left, I don't even know how long ago, I've been unable to get out of this spot. Looking down the floor, terrified. It's not going to end well. It's going to be my fault. You will get mad at me. 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 Yeah, I get it. I get it. Shut up. Oh my freaking god. Stop whining. Stop. A door slamming. Footsteps. Yua struggling to head my way, hugging themselves with their head down. Yua? Quiet. No response. Yua, what happened? It didn't go well. Of course it didn't. I should have stopped Yua. It's my fault. Oh god. I can't do this. A loud heaving sob. Yua's voice shook in a way I'd never heard before. The usually calm and collected Yua. This is a dream. Yu's just... They're just like Mom. Just like her. A nervous bout of laughter escaped their mouth. I thought I escaped her. From the piano to the flowers to love, you're identical. Another sob. I need you to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm imagining things. This is not Yua. Yua does not break down in tears and fall to their knees. Yua does not grit their teeth like this. I will freaking murder you! Yua does not turn their head back and forth in fear. Yua, don't cry. Get away! Shh, it's okay. I forgive you. Let's forget what happened. I am going to absolutely ruin you. What did you do? Do you listen to yourself? Yua does not like hugs. Not from me. Not from you. You can't be mean to me. I'm your family. I forgive you. Everyone makes mistakes. Yua does not shake and cry and whimper. Shh. There. I still love you. Even though you made a huge mistake. No matter how many times you hurt me, I'll always love you, Yua. You don't even have a dumpy! I thought to myself, I'm not strong. Never have been. From the start, I've been a weakling who couldn't stand up for themselves. I'm sorry, Yua. You. How did they say it again? Earlier? Breaking the generational cycle? I can't do that. Not me. Tomorrow, it will happen again. I'll come see you, and they will smile and utter sweet, meaningless words. And as if nothing happened, I'll put the bouquet of hydrangeas by their bedside. Is there anything that will stop this madness? Is there anything at all? A new ending has been unlocked? Okay, sure, whatever. Okay, so I restarted the game. Apparently, like, we have a third choice at the very beginning. I'm just gonna ask, why hydrangeas? It's because of my mom. You perked up, bringing their hands together with a smile. Mom would always give me and Yua some hydrangeas when we were sad. And when we were outside, she'd bring us to a little flower shop and take us to make a bouquet with her. It always made us stop crying and forget all the upsetting things. What a sweet memory. Yu has told me about their mom before, and a bit about their dad. It's always been vague. It gave me the feeling that they didn't like talking about their family. Yua too. I wonder why. I love my mom. I miss her a lot. You can't see her because of the divorce? Yu visibly saddened, their lower lip trembling. Yeah, Dad won't let me. Why not? They shrugged slightly. A small motion I almost didn't notice. The divorce was really, really bad. Before I was finalized, you and I got split up. They stayed over with our dad and I was with Mom.
Oh, that explains so much!
Then they furrowed their brows in annoyance. Dad put all kinds of awful things in Yua's head. He was so mad at Mom. He wanted to make Yua hate her too. And he did it! When I went back to live with them, Yua didn't want to hear a thing about Mom. Now, I don't get along with Dad. It's because of him that our family got split up. I wish the family could be together again, like before. The four of us. We were all so happy. I nod along to Yu's story. They clearly missed their mom. I hope they can find a way to see her again, someday. What? A lot of things happened afterwards. I found myself living inside some kind of loop. Doing something wrong, feeling extremely guilty, receiving a gift, and then thinking that from then on, everything will be fine again. But it always starts over again. I don't know what day it is, how long it's been since the hospitalization, nothing. Yua tells me it's a cycle of abuse. They've heard me out, day after day. Even when I yelled at them to go away, I pushed them away over and over. Your relationship with you is bringing out the worst from you both. I've watched you become lethargic, anxious, depressed. You isolated yourself from everyone who loves you. You stopped doing the things you enjoy. Since when have I been anxious?
Doubting every little thing, thinking of the what ifs and despairing over them. I read books where the love-struck protagonist stays with partners who steals their phones or constantly accuses them of cheating. I'm the idiotic protagonist who can't see the truth right before them. The hell am I doing? Seriously, how did I let you do this? It's not normal. It's not something you do to a partner. I don't remember how long ago it was, but you told me a bit about your mother. What? About how she'd give you hydrangeas when you two were sad. Sounds like you misses her a lot. But before I could finish, an expression I'd never seen contorted Yua's features into one of anger. What the hell? The hydrangeas? Are you serious? I cowered in fear. So stupid. I made someone mad again. I might not be remembering exactly. My memory's been really bad lately. Desperation crept into my voice. Please don't yell at me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm really sorry. Yua rushed past me. Where are you going? I'm sorry. The sound of a door slamming open reverberated through the hallway. As the door swung inward, Yua barged into the room. Ah! Yu yelped in shock. Yua? The hell is wrong with you? Yua slammed their hands against one of the walls. Yu cried in distress, turning to me with wide, frightened eyes. Lion, help me! Nope. This one's on you. This one's all on you, and I am all here for it. Yua, give them hell! I don't know what's going on, but Yua, you have to calm down. No, Lion, this doesn't concern you. Yua snapped, their gaze locked on Yu with an intensity I never thought they were capable of showing. They approached Yu's bed. With each moment, Yu instinctively recoiled, tucking themselves against the wall. Yua, stop it! Don't hurt me! Do you not remember? Can you not see it? I don't understand. As they stood before you, their fists clenched at their sides, a visible tremor ran through Yua's body. The last time we got hydrangeas from Mom. They took another shaky step forward, their eyes locked on you. Right before the divorce. Do you remember when it was you? No, Mom was a great person. She loved us and we... And you're one to talk. What's wrong with me liking Mom's flowers? You got a duck from Dad once and you made it your whole life. Why could they like the flowers? It has nothing to do with that. Yua's voice erupted into a primal scream that crashed through every walls of the room. An emotion that had been building in intensity until it reached a deafening level. Try to remember. I am begging you to try. Why did Mom give us flowers? Think about it. Dad had gone out to drink to run away from her. It was one of her bad days, remember? We were alone. Mom was standing in front of us. For a brief moment, the world seemed to stand still. With a knife pressed against her neck, Mom said it. If you don't tell Mommy you love her... No! Yu screamed, shutting up their twin. Stop it, Yua! I don't want to hear that! What did she give to us after she came back from the hospital? Same gift she always gave every single time, as if it would erase what she had done. I widened my eyes. Yua's gaze was settled on the object next to Yu. The bouquet of hydrangeas I had given to them the day before. Every single time Mom did something horrible, she'd give us gifts. She'd never apologize, but it was her way of saying, look at how nice I am. Forget about yesterday. Rinse and repeat, over and over again. That sound familiar to you too? Yu said nary a word. Quiet. They looked down at their lap. Are you trying to break us up, Yua? I've been trying to do that from the start! Or at least like towards the end of the first playthrough. Yes. Yua's shoulders shook. You two can't stay together. Not like this. Do you want me to die then? Without Lion, my disease will get worse. The flowers in my lungs will grow and grow until I can't function anymore. I'm sick and dying. I guess you must be happy to see your annoying sibling finally gone. Of course not. You're my sibling. That's why it hurts so much to see you acting like her.
In shock at Yua's outburst, I found myself unable to move from the spot. When we were kids, you were the one who protected me. You kept me away from the monster, remember? I pretended that we were in a game of hide and seek and had me hide while she took out her emotions on you instead of me. You taught me how to recognize when she was having a bad day, the clinking of her heels as she got home. Oh no. You created a secret code word for me to know when it was time to pretend to be asleep. You recounted memories of childhood fraught with fear and uncertainty. Memories you had never alluded to, not to me. All I could do was listen. Listen to the feelings and memories Yua had. What happened to that you? To my sibling who put themselves on the line for me. Yua's voice cracked with sorrow, aching for the sibling they had lost somewhere along the way. You're like this, but you're my sibling. Watching Lion become like dad and you like mom, I can't do it anymore, you! Yua had finally let out years' worth of repressed emotions. They released a torrent of pent-up memories that had been building within them for far too long. I was unable to keep my eyes away from them. I wanted to comfort them, to hug them. But the sob that came out of Yu's mouth then stopped me in my tracks. They too must be recalling those very same memories. My friends had been holding on to such painful experiences all this time, and I had no idea why was I dragged into this. For the first time, Yu was left speechless. The tears flowed freely now. Not the same tears that would appear in the corner of their eyes when they screamed at me. No, those were tears of extreme sorrow. Uwa. Yu's tears fell in a steady stream, tracing a path down their cheeks. Yua stood by their side, their own tears mingling with those of their sibling. No words were exchanged between them. In the midst of the tears, Yua turned their head to look at me. Leave, Lion. Leave and don't come back until you're ready. But my phone! My phone! Yu did not react or speak against Yua's order. They looked down at their hands, their lower lip trembling as they held back on more tears. I'm sorry. I was shocked. Yeah. I had berated myself for not recognizing the extent of their suffering sooner. But once I realized that, and as I heard Yua talk about the past, an unsettling realization came over me. It was a gnawing sense of unease, a creeping awareness. I've become apologetic, consumed by guilt. I find myself shouldering the blame for everything, unable to muster a smile anymore. This wasn't how it used to be. There had been a time when laughter had rung through the classroom where we met. There had been a time when we talked and chat and joke around so freely and easily. At some point, you became everything that mattered to me, and more. The disease and its symptoms, my biggest enemy. Before I had relationships, I had a lifestyle, I had goals. They seem so irrelevant now, so disconnected from who I am, from who I've become. I can't do this anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm living for. What? Our graduation is coming up this year, huh? Right. Still a while to go, though. Don't say it. I'm nervous already. If I don't do well in next semester's finals, I'll be left behind. I know what I'm gonna do yet when we leave. Something about helping people, maybe? It would fit you, Lion. You're always so kind. Especially to us. But if I don't pass the test, we'll be separated. You've panicked about the test enough. There's no point in worrying about exams that'll happen in approximately 7 months. Right, Lion? Yeah, it's okay, you. Don't fret about it. There's plenty of time. If you need help, we can study together. Really? Yeah. Really? Even though I'm so antsy and stuff, you'd hang out with me? What? There. You're too cute to not want to hang out with... Huh? Get a room, you two. No, don't go! I'm too nervous! You're so noisy. What I meant to ask was, what are you guys doing after graduation? You're going to study music, right? And you can get into a good university with your grades. Med school? Not med school. Med students have no life. If I'm gonna sell 4 years of my life to study something, it has to at least be something that won't bore me to sleep. Psychology? Shush. You's going to try for a scholarship, I think. You? My head! They patted my head! Earth to you! Thanks, Lion. You broke them. Sorry, I didn't mean to, you. Help me fix them. What? Why me? It's your mess. Because you're super smart and you know everything. Teach me your wise knowledge, master. Shut up, smart butt. The dreams we talked about. The classroom. The cool, calm Yua. And the you I had fallen for. The truth is, I wanted all of us to go to the same university. Then, we keep in touch when we entered the workforce. I had a job that would let me help people. There was a time when I wanted that. We'd visit each other's families, even as we grew too busy to spend as much time together. The mere thought of our conversations filled me with a bittersweet longing. I think of the person I was before, and I mourned them. Now it's all so far away. There's nothing left. Nothing. Please don't tell me that was a nurse. Lion, is that you? It's been a while. Haven't seen you around here since... Yeah. Can I go in? Of course. You will be happy to see you. Entering the room, the searing feeling of pure guilt that enveloped me almost shook away all my confidence. Yu was laying down, motionless. There were times when their condition got worse, but this time it was truly terrible. Pale and thin, Yu was unmoving, their breath shallow and labored. Tubes and wires snaked across their body, new ones that weren't there the last time I'd seen them. Lion. I was afraid that this would happen. I still am. But I need to do this. You? We're breaking up. Yu's eyes widened in shock. What? Lion, I don't... I held up my hand, cutting off the protest before they could take root. No, you're going to let me speak. We're in an abusive relationship. You have issues that have nothing to do with me. I can't fix you. Yu's expression crumbled, and tears welled up in their eyes. Their shoulders shook with each ragged breath. Watching them come undone before my eyes, their pain laid bare for me to see, I thought, what a familiar sight. The past days I haven't been here, I've come to many realizations. My friends, my family, how much I isolated myself from them. I ignored my health, missed out on school. Attempting to reconnect with them and learning to take care of myself again has been incredibly difficult. I've talked a lot with Yua. They introduced me to your dad. I was horrified. He looked nothing alike, but it was as if I was looking at a mirror. Hey, did you know from the start that I'm a weak person? That I take things in and worry until I drive myself sick? Did you fall in love with me because you knew you would be able to manipulate me like your mother did? No. You and Yua's dad is a quiet man carrying a permanent sad frown. Apologetic, skittish, and constantly explaining himself. A man who's still trying, to this day, to go back to how he was before. Before he fell in love with their mom. Before he began to believe he was seeing and hearing things. Before he lost all his confidence and self-esteem. I've been seeing a therapist. At this hospital, actually. You should see one too. It was a wake-up call. I looked at him and I thought, that's not the life I dreamt of. That's not how I want to be 5-10 years from now. Forever bound to use whims and tears, apologizing and crying and begging for forgiveness. Goodbye, you. It's enough. Lion!
I can't hear you over the coughing. No, don't, Lion. I'm sorry. Like, you're coughing a bit too much. I can't hear you. Don't go. I'll die. I shook my head. I even laughed a little. It's also obvious to me. Yu's understanding of love is so warped. They can't see something so simple. It wasn't love. It has to be mutual love, Yu. It was guilt. Guilt and a longing for things to go back to normal. The only thing keeping us together. Even if I stayed, it would not be mutual. That's not love. Love isn't supposed to hurt either of us to this extent. And I don't want to stick around and try to see if it would change. In a year? 2 years? What a joke. Yu, there's no way I can love you now. My eyes are wide open to what Yu has been doing to me. No! Don't leave me! The thought of, if I try a little harder, they'll get better. But it's not on me to fix Yu. Yu has to take care of themselves. And I... Lion! 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 Bye! I'm taking the first step to take care of me. And screw off and have a short life. Several years have passed since then. I moved on with my life. It's been difficult. Therapy is tough. Recognizing what happened was tougher. What occurred back then was now memory that only came back in specific moments, instead of a constant nightmare in the back of my mind. For that to happen, I had to make some difficult choices. Letting go of Yua was one of them. We attempted to continue where we left off, but I discovered that even simply keeping in touch via text was painful. For me, every interaction reminded me of those days where I didn't eat, didn't sleep, and refused any help from my loved ones. So, we grew apart. I wonder if Yua felt the same way. We haven't attempted to reconnect either. As the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, I began to forge a new path forward. A flower shop? Still, it's not easy. Some days I remember little things, such as the music they liked, food they ate with me, or places we went to together. Since I came to associate with them. There are times when I think I'm over it, then it returns. Passing by the colorful display window of a flower shop, the moment the faint scent of hydrangeas blows by, it all feels like it's still happening. The good, the bad, the bittersweet, and the unforgettable. I have come to forgive you. I've forgiven you. I understand why they did what they did. You had no other examples in their life of what a healthy relationship looked like. I understand, and I forgive them. Some people who I briefly told the story insisted that I had to forgive you. That I'd never find peace or whatever that means if I didn't forgive them. I disagree. I did forgive them, but not because of that kind of thinking. I forgive you because I understand why it happened, how it happened, also because I kind of just wanted to get it over with. I can empathize with their suffering. Everyone has a different way of finding peace. Perhaps you and Yua have forgiven their mother. Perhaps not. Maybe they did and now regret it. Maybe they didn't, but desperately want to. Where are they now? Crying of happiness? Drowning in despair? It's not my place to wonder. I moved on. As we take different paths in life, I'm proud I was able to stand up for myself that day. Bugger off, why don't you? I will find my own new way of loving. Well, it's a sweet ending, I suppose. Is there something else that I'm thinking of? Mom did not get better, but I will. I will be okay. Anyway, that was Hydrangea. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. So this had a very accurate representation of like what it's like going through like emotional abuse. Like holy frick, this
was incredibly well written. It was frustrating. It was incredibly frustrating going through it. But then again, I know that that's definitely what the developer was going for. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.